Everybody, today is Friday, July 20th, 2018. This is MMA Junkie Radio's pre-show. It's what we run before the show. I'm Goz, that's George, that's Dan. Voice in your head, Danny Elkers, confirm it.
That's me.
How's everybody doing?
Good, and you?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Alright. My head hurts. Everything hurts.
What did you drink that gave you such a bad hangover?
Flor de Caña and Crown and 7.
Where'd you go? What'd you do?
I went downtown to La Thai.
Oh, that's right.
And they're always packed, and the couple we were with were running late, so we went to a bar to kill time, and time killed us instead. And then afterwards we walked around. Maybe, yeah, right. It's like right next to the Thai. Yeah, it's got like a weird feel to it. The guy checked my ID like 4 times, like I was Bin Laden or something. Like, even security at the airport doesn't look over my ID as much as that guy did.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
One day you're gonna go
Only
to the
like
Laker
you were the
game.
Ayatollah Khomeini.
That's all. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Your brain is mush.
Yeah. But it's Friday.
Yeah. Big plans for the weekend? Anybody?
Oh yeah, George. You know the Grand Canyon? Hey, Danny.
Yes, I am aware of the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Hey, listen, he might be bringing a crew now, and I just told him no one under 21s. But I think the crew might include Aaron Pico now.
Oh, cool.
Which would make it even more cool, but I didn't know this guy, so if you hear
in a minute
other voices or whatever, then...
No, I'm gonna freak out.
Danny, you like freaking out, huh?
I don't like it, but it's pretty much my job too.
Hey, you know the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
I'm aware of it. Coming up at 30.
Cindy was saying...
Who's ever answered that by going, no, what's
well,
up?
like, because I mentioned it earlier and you didn't say anything.
You mean the
at
thing
time.
with the
Just
faces?
joking.
Oh.
Cindy was saying instead of doing that, if we want to do Zion tomorrow. But she said just... It's 2.5 hours to get there. She said we could drive through the canyon, which is pretty cool. And then afterwards
Okay,
we'll take a
up.
little shuttle, she said, to this one trail
Stand
that's
by.
like only like a 25-minute, and it's all paved. So she said Mom can do it, and it's like a good waterfall.
We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Gold. This is what we do and why we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our ace co-host to my far left, it's the fight analyst Dan Tom. Back east, handling all the producing duties, Danny Otto. Sorry, putting out fires as we get this show underway. The last show of the week, show number 2,730, if anyone's keeping track. We are expecting the McKees, Antonio and AJ McKee, to also be sitting in these chairs, occupying these chairs, father and son duo. And they'll be co-hosting with us here for the whole day, so it should be fun. Heard they may even have a crew with them. We'll find out.
Hey, really quick, would you rather me fart now or go outside and fart?
Go outside. Yeah. All right. There they are. The McKees.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Right.
I like that shirt, man. That's tight. How you doing?
I've been feeling my whole life.
All right. Have a seat, my man.
The rest of the guys are coming down.
Okay. Looking sharp. Looking sharp. We're SoCalers too, man, so we got some love for you guys. A little further down in Orange County, you know, but still.
Nice.
Yeah.
DJ, Kimbo Slice, Walel, Joey Iceman Davis.
Okay.
Who else?
Let's put these on right now real fast. There you go. I'll do that. Let me see. I'll do it for you. We'll go like this. There you go.
Left side.
All right. So, Antonia Mckee, welcome to MMA Junkie Radio. We are on live right now. And I'm George. That's Goes, and that's Dan. Been following you guys for a while now. You know, we've had a few over the phone, but first time in person. Thanks for coming out. You said your whole crew's coming out. I thought it was just you and AJ.
No. We got the boys.
Okay, who's in town?
Yeah, Kimbo Slice, Walel, AJ Mercenary McKee, Joey Davis, and Osman.
Okay, you guys are storming Sin City. I love it.
That's why we late.
Oh, you guys went out last night a little, huh?
Shit.
What'd you do?
Everything.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go get started again when I leave here.
Yeah?
Start all over again.
So, can we have fun and talk about it, or is
man,
it
we can do whatever.
stay in the back pocket?
Yeah, all I did was have a glass of wine, a bottle of wine, and went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
After I walked.
Oh, yeah, it went from a glass to a bottle. All right.
Right.
Did you gamble? Did you throw some dice?
No, I was too drunk.
No? Lap dances?
Nothing.
No?
No.
Okay, just some drinking.
Just drinking.
Drinking,
I
laughing.
lost my voice, too. I'll get it together, though. Give me a couple seconds. I'll get it right in a minute.
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. Did you party, too?
You know, I drank a little bit of wine, too. I don't drink much or do much, so it kicked in pretty well.
All right. Cool, man. Well, thanks for cruising through. I really, really dig the shirts, honestly. Tight colors.
That's what I feel like my whole life.
What you mean?
It's been everybody versus us.
Really?
And we've been successful at winning.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you feel that way? Is it because your gym doesn't tend to get the love that some of the other gyms
of course,
get? Or?
You know that. Come on, man. I ain't going to go into details, but, you know, you do things your way and not their way, and things don't work the way they should. But you can't stop talent. And at the end of the day, if you look at the actual history of the body shop, we've always won. We got a couple losses here and there, but for majority, we always win.
Do you think maybe it's because your crew, I mean, I don't know how many officially are on your pro team, but like ATT, God, they got to be like 75 to 100 deep.
Right.
Jackson's, you know, some of the other teams, it's just more numbers, not necessarily that there's more talent there than anywhere else. The whole world's got some great gyms, but you think that's just what it is they just hit you in numbers and you see the same coaches draped over the cages and standing in corners?
Oh, no. I'm still trying to figure it out. But it don't matter to me. I don't care. I'm there for my fighters. I give a shit what the fans think, what the people think, what the politicians think. I'm there for my fighters, and most of my fighters, they come from a rough edge. They didn't come through college. They didn't come with all the accolades that most of the other fighters come with. They came from the bottom, working their way to the top.
You know, you're his father, but you're kind of everyone's father, because every time we see you guys interact, and I mentioned this to George a couple Bellators before, when you guys were all there, you had the whole crew. The way you speak to everyone, you could tell no matter what they were doing, they stopped what they were doing and they listened. And Can you talk about that dynamic that you have where you have to be the head coach as well, but also kind of like a mentor to people?
Well, you know, I didn't grow up where the grass was green, so everything was rough. So I have a different emotion for the guys that are training with me, and most of those guys, they come from, you know, it wasn't good, and so I'm able to relate to them. But out of all of that, they respect what I've done, and they respect, you know, who I am as a person, and they know that at the end of the day, I just got their best interest. I want them to be the best that they can be. And this MMA game is brutal, man. I don't know why we try to walk around here and act like this shit is so nice and lovely, man. This is worse than a dope game. Fighters are pimped and whored. There's no fucking money involved. I mean, let's keep it real. It's not something you want your son to do. Straight out. Go in a cage and the objective is to beat the fuck out of each other or to try to maim or hurt somebody. And yet, we sit back as fans and we ridicule them and we criticize them and we say mean things when at the end of the day, they're just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people really understand what we go through. Half the fighters that are in there are fucked up anyway. Let's keep it 100. But they're good at being fucked up doing this. Because if not, they'd be doing something else.
I used the pimp and whore thing about 2-3 years ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
I felt the same thing, that the fighters need to push back, because at the end of the day, you all are being used for a particular show, and it's like, see you in 6 months.
Well,
you know, here's your paycheck. So we each used each other, but it's a business transaction.
Right.
And so I tell fighters, you have this platform where you're on TV. Use that to the most of your ability. Don't get caught in the shuffle where you just get brushed under here. You're like, oh, go ahead, Antonia, go under there.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see you in 6 months. No, man, use them back.
Right. Well, it's kind of hard to do when the politicians are in there deep like that, and you got fighters that'll sell themselves and whore themselves. You know, like this Conor McGregor guy. Imagine me as a black man. I go to London, Russia, Europe. I go anywhere in the world, and I'm a star. And I throw a chair through a window and people get cut up. What would happen to Antonia Mckee in another country?
You'd be toast.
I might not come home, right? But yeah, we sit up and we take a guy from another place, not even a United States citizen, a guy that comes from another place, and we put this man on a pedestal for doing hindrance things that are
well, I don't know about a pedestal. I thought he was a jackass, personally.
Well, he's making all this money, so
that was not a gangster move at all. I know he was trying to be gangster that day, but it didn't work out. And I think most media have gone out of the way to say, what were you thinking, you know, and admonishing. So I don't know about a pedestal.
What? This man makes more money than any fighter in MMA.
I thought you meant directly to what happened in Brooklyn.
I mean, paychecks. I don't give a shit about what somebody's doing. I'm talking about the dollars, the things that change lives.
I see what you mean. Prior to that incident.
Yes.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Oh, he ain't done. He's still going to be successful.
Well, he is entertaining, though.
Yeah, I agree. He's entertaining, but do you want your kids watching somebody do stuff like that? I'm entertaining.
I don't want him to throw dollies through buses.
Okay, so
sure.
at the end of the day, this man needs to be held accountable for what he does.
Yeah.
Because there's
I think he's going to get away with it. I don't think he's going to do no time.
Why? Because it's about the money, right?
Yeah.
But you said at the end of the day, hey, he's entertaining. Is this what you call entertaining?
Well, no, hold on, Antonio. I meant the dolly incident. I think he was a jackass. But when he fights, when Conor McGregor takes this town over and he says the things he does and who the fuck is that guy and all that, I'm laughing. I can't help myself.
No, I agree.
Laughing. So he's entertaining me. But when he's throwing dollies and fucking fights up, you know, Chiesa getting cut and the other guys, I'm like, what are you thinking?
Gross.
Like, that's stupid, you know? He sure didn't think that one
But
through.
it's not
You know what I
even
mean?
like
I mean, if
it-
you're going to take someone out, there's ways to... What's that?
He thinks it's a gangster move, and it's not even that. It was just...
It was nothing.
Really
It was no
stupid.
gangster move.
It really was.
Yeah.
I show him gangster. Tell him come to hang out with me for a weekend. I show a nigga gangster. He'd be like, shit, what the fuck is this?
Antonio, so one of the first things you talked about was the way you were brought up. Can we talk a little bit about that? Can we go back to square one? Like,
you know,
how
square
was
one
your-
was
how was
mother
your
was mother was strung out on drugs. My father didn't know who he was. I grew up in the ghetto. Our rent was $14 a month, and I paid it. I collected aluminum cans, cardboard boxes, iron, copper, whatever I could to pay the rent, and I lived in the projects. Those same projects are still operating right now. That's owned by a Jewish organization in Nashville, Tennessee, and people are dying right now as we talk in this little environment. I escaped out of there. I got out of there. I came to California. When I got to California, I didn't understand gangs and all that, because where I come from, it was a jungle. You know, it was just fight, survive, fight, survive. When I hit California, I was amazed at, like, wow, these people are gang banging between a rag, a color red or blue, rolling 20s, cripping. I didn't understand that. So immediately I wasn't attracted to that. But unfortunately, my mother wasn't financially well off at that time. So we lived once again in the ghetto of Long Beach, and it was survival of the fittest. And I love to fight. Oh, I love to fight, regardless of my style back in the past. But at that point, I love to fight, and I used that to get out. And once I got to a certain point and I dedicated myself to it, I was undefeated in wrestling for like 5 years, 3-time state champ. I was doing stuff I never even dreamed of doing. I didn't know nothing about wrestling. Everybody thought wrestling was for people who are, you know, have gay tendencies. So I got no respect from that with the guys in the hood. So, you know, on Saturdays, if I wasn't wrestling, it's time to square up for money. And I was pretty successful at it. I won a lot of fights. And then it got to a point where, you know, I was caught in the middle between that and, you know, the street life, and then trying to make that transition. That transition was difficult for me because I was an individual with no mentor, no leadership. I just did things on a random. And I had a lot of high school coaches that stuck with me, man, and I'm so grateful for those guys to show me a different path that I did not understand. It was like everything was happening, but it was happening where it was supposed to happen because I had no control. And eventually, you know, I got it. And then I got involved in MMA. And I've always been about winning. I didn't care about, you know, I was a bad boy in wrestling, flipping the crowd. I was the Conor McGregor in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But I started to mature as a person. So when I got into this MMA, I was like, man, I don't want to create that image that I had from my childhood, from my college level when I was going through college. So I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a change. I wanted to be something positive for people. So I just focused on being that. I opened up a chain of retail stores. You know, I dealt with drug dealers at a very high level, collecting money for them. And I mean, I've witnessed and seen some stuff that I couldn't deal with that anymore. So I branched out of that to opening up a couple of businesses, to eventually opening up a gym and just physical fitness. I never thought about training anybody. Hooked up with a couple of Brazilians, rolled around. They said, wow, man, you're really good at wrestling. I said, I used to wrestle back in the day. I'm 30 years old at this point. You know, I'm well off. I'm pretty good. Owned a couple of pieces of real estate from a guy that comes from the hood. I was doing pretty good. I had residual income in the businesses that I own. And I saw this stuff on TV. Next thing you know, I'm knee-deep in it, at a fight, get out there and win. It was a rough time for me because I didn't have the guidance. And so I kind of like to do what's right. I take my emotions out. I don't care what my emotions are. I do what's right. And in this sport, I said, you know what? I was one of the beginning in 1997, 98, 99. I was one of the guys that started this shit. But got no respect because I paid no respect to the Brazilians. I'm like, excuse my language, but fuck jiu-jitsu. I'm a wrestler. Tap me out. So immediately I started out on the wrong side of the fence in a sport. So I was kind of blackballed a little bit from the teachings of jiu-jitsu. But that didn't stop me because I'm an athlete. You know what I mean? So I kept going. And I racked up, I think my first loss was against Chris Brennan. I was training in the garage. This was some
the West Side Strangler.
Yeah, some real gangster-ass Antonia Mckee hood shit. I'm training in my garage. I'm just street fight training though. I never had any structure. And then I got knocked out. And I've never been knocked out in my life. And you guys don't know what it took for me to not go and kill this dude. I mean, this was a time where I wouldn't come out of the house. I had a full beard. And everybody knows me. I'm a clean-cut guy. But I was so depressed because I'd never lost. And I didn't understand it. And at this time, I'm going through the spiritual awakening. Like, I'm finding myself at damn near 32 years old, 33. I'm finding myself, when this is done at a child, at adolescent, when you have a structure. So now as I'm finding myself, I'm dealing with these demons. Well, I want to kill this guy that just knocked me out. I don't understand this. And I just laid in the bed, and every day I would tell myself, you don't judge a man by his wins. You judge him by his losses. How does he return from his losses? So I stayed focused, and before you know it, I said, you know what? I'm going to be the best at this sport. And at that time, you know, I was so good at grappling that it was boring. But you knew what you were going to get. You're going to get slammed. You're going to get taken down. And your face is going to get beat up. It's the same shit Khabib does. The only difference was I was the Conor McGregor then. I was the guy talking shit. I was the guy that pushed the Fighters Union and put the lawsuit against the UFC. I was the guy standing out saying, look, this isn't right. This is, this is human cockfighting. And you get a bonus. This is wrong. We need rights. We need a union. We need to be compensated. Just like every professional sport, I think you get what? The athletes anywhere between 75 to 85, 87% of the income generated goes to the talent. Well, in MMA, 12 to 10% goes to the fighter. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not going to sign my likeness and imaging over. I just left the drug game. I just left the music industry. This is the same shit. So I took a different path. But in that path, I really respect the sport. Because this is gladiator shit. There is no faking. When we get in that cage and we line next to each other, my objective is to hurt you, maim you, knock you out, to induce bodily harm. Let's think about this. And I'm getting peanuts. How is this fair? I didn't want my son to fight. So I went undefeated. And for 7 years, I think, I went undefeated with no flaws, taking everybody down, beating
10 years almost, I remember.
2003
to 2012, right?
Something like that. Taking them down,
almost a 10-year run.
dominating. And then Dana has a problem with me. How do you have a problem with me?
14 straight and 17 out of 18. I remember that.
And that was in different weight classes. I fought in 3 different weight classes. At that time, I was 160 pounds. But yet I was fighting 170, 180, 185, 205. Anybody ever thought about that? You go fight somebody 25 pounds heavier than you, 30 pounds.
So in your life, I know you've had different influences, people that have helped you out, but who would you say saved you? Because this seemed like there were situations where it was like rock bottom, right?
Man, look, if you knew the history, I gotta be careful. I don't want to go to jail for some stuff, but it had to have been God, Yeshua, Allah, whatever you want to call it. But there was definitely a higher level spiritually that was influencing me. I've got way too many coincidences that I could talk about, and no one can make the explanation for me. So I don't have an explanation. So is there really a God? That's what I'm asking myself. Is there really a God? Because what's happened in my life, I can't explain this. And what I'm doing for others, and the intuition that I have with them intellectually and spiritually, how I'm able to take these guys to a whole nother level to see a place that they never thought that they could get to. So I don't know where it comes from. I wish I did. I really do.
Deep stuff.
No, man, you guys have no idea. A lot of people sit up on the mic and they talk and they say these things, but I got a banger for you. Some real stuff. I really need to do a.
One thing we do on this show, we always ask the in-studio guests for a good street fight story. So
prep yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about like the red and blue we were talking about earlier. I don't want to hear all that. But just something or whatever. Not now.
Go back as far as you want.
Okay. We got all the mics going. All right, AJ McKee joining us here in studio. Welcome,
What's up,
AJ.
Slice?
How you doing?
What up, Slice? How you guys doing?
Everybody? Bang, bang.
He's got a
Joey Ice.
All right, so I was told, guys, that only the McKees were coming, and then next thing you know, I'm getting the word the whole crew's rolling through the Mandalay Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How many of you are there altogether?
5.
Okay,
6.
I thought you said somebody else was coming.
6.
Okay.
6 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Like the Dodger hat. Aren't they back in first place?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
They're playing good now.
Yeah. And AJ, you just got a fight sign, right, in Boise?
Yes, sir.
Against Pat Curran, former champ at 145 pounds. So, solid matchup there. And I think now you're 10-0 and 11-0. And so now, I always say, if you're 8-2, you're a player in this game because this is a tough sport. Right. 9-1, and you could be a future champ. But man, 10-0, you could be an all-time great. Like you're headed in that direction. But these next block of 10 fights are going to be really, really interesting. And now you got a former champ ahead of you.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to get out there and just put on a show. That's what I love to do.
Are you enjoying the ride more than I guess what your father described earlier? How he he wasn't feeling MMA, you know, in his first few years. How about you? Were you able to maybe shake some of that?
Nah, it was neither. I was fighting in the streets or I was fighting in the gym. So
Yeah.
So your dad was able to break down barriers to make a
I didn't
smoother
want him
ride.
fighting.
He told me no. He's
I
like,
said,
you're
man,
not
don't
fighting.
fight.
You're not
This
fighting.
is
I was
bullshit.
like, hey, it's better I fight, you know, in a cage than in the
Yeah.
street. So that's what I was doing, dude. I was going from wrestling practice to the alley in the street to fight. Like
For survival or for fun?
For fun. I just love to fight, man.
Were you guys putting money down?
I mean, sometimes.
It's in his blood. See, I did the same shit.
I'd literally get out of school, walk to the alley, we'll go fight, and then go straight to wrestling practice. My coach would be like, I heard you got in a fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
How much can you win in a fight like that?
You gotta slice that question. That's more his. I was just doing it for fun.
Oh, okay.
Slice him and his pops. They was the ones that was doing it for the money back in the day. I just had to fight.
Well, that was big YouTube and I think probably a little bit more organized. You said something about an alley, so I wasn't sure if that was just a quick dub or
nah, that was just fun.
That was just fun, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you got a problem? Okay.
Did you know that was happening?
Yeah, I got a call. They was gonna kill my son. I'm like,
that was
what?
different story. That was a different story.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Kill my son for what?
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. See, this is a different story. This story, I was throwing rugby ball around a couple of my small friends.
Rugby ball?
Yeah, rugby ball. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, we're throwing the rugby ball around, and ended up dropping it. One of like the little big OG dudes ends up ball rolls over to his feet. So like I'm like, hey, can you throw this ball back? You know, he ends up picking the ball up and just booting the shit all across the school. I'm like, hey, dude, what's your issue? You know, da-da-da. Next thing you know, word just said something. Mind you, he's a big old dude. You know, I'm a little small dude.
How old were you?
I was, I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school, and we ended up conversating a little bit. Words were exchanged. I ended up just stepping back. He swung, step back, straight left, bang bang. There he went.
There we go.
Phones ringing.
That almost sounds like Boys in the Hood. Remember they took the ball from him?
Yeah.
Except your son kind of stood up for himself there.
I gotta go and watch that again.
Yeah. You remember the scene where I think they go to look at a dead body, right? Want to see a dead body?
Yeah.
And then in the process, they have a ball. The ball gets taken away.
Was it the basketball?
It was a football.
Oh, the football.
Yeah. But you had said rugby ball. That's why that struck me a little strange. Cause
well, Samoans. We got Samoans.
That's
in
true.
Long Beach, so.
That's true.
And I was one of the kids that hopped from group to group to group.
And what was the story you were going to say? Something about lives were being threatened.
Well, no, I got a phone call that he knocked out some crip. And, I'm from that hood, but I never banged. So I'm like, what? So I go and I get a video sent to me of him knocking some dude out. Man, this dude was fighting everybody. So I went down.
Him?
Yeah, he just like fight. And him and Joy Davis were going the weekend through Compton.
Joy,
he come home, he have a black eye busted. I said, what the hell wrong? Oh, Dad, we had wrestling. We was at wrestling practice. They was out street fighting.
I got
so,
DDT.
I just said, you know what? Look, if you want to do this, let's do it right because you're good. You're way better than me because of what I went through. So I can guide you through it. And as far as the fight game, I mean, I knew that hands down. It was easy to set him in the right path because he's a good kid. He grew up right. He didn't grow up like I grew up. And I think sometimes I was doing too much overcompensating. But I got the phone calls and I went down there and I basically gave somebody some money and said, look, if this shit don't stop, I'm going to kill y'all whole family. This is crazy.
You said that to
yes,
them? Okay.
Not to the gangsters. Because they had a meeting about it.
I'm tripping here a little bit because he was the asshole to you. All he had to do was give you the ball back.
Yeah.
Then words were exchanged, so I'm going to say man-to-man even though you were under 18. He swung at you, missed. You knocked him out. And all of a sudden, he's got a problem? I mean,
you know how the hood work?
But that just seems like one of those where like, hey, don't let that video go out. He got me. Let's leave it at that. And I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about like making a production out of it, and you got to go over there and
you knock out an OG, you better be ready.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I don't know what street you from.
The mean streets of Santa Ana.
Okay, so shit. I mean, we had situations happening in Santa Ana. Santa Ana was a fucking joke.
I
mean,
but that OG would not want that to get out that someone knocked him out.
It went viral. It was on the video.
I know, but see, I'm 48 like you. OGs.
That's right.
And the younger generation, they have the camera phones.
Right.
We didn't have camera phones. You
Right.
know what I mean? It was just word of mouth. Did you hear about whatever? But now everybody's busting that out, and so I guess you're right. There is no secrets out there.
Well, one dude had a strap in the backpack. When I was watching it, I seen him like he was
Jeez.
looking around, hesitating, and all I could think about is this nigga would have shot my son. Woo! It would have been a bad day.
And now look at him, one of the top athletes in the world, one of the top mixed martial artists in the world,
And he been
headlining
playing.
Bellator 205 against the former
He
champion.
been playing. He ain't taking shit serious till 2 weeks ago.
Chill.
Oh, really?
Not
Yeah,
too.
man. This
Nah.
dude.
All this is raw talent. The hard work
Man,
hasn't started yet.
If you guys
There's not
knew,
much hay in the barn yet.
Nah,
no,
real hard work started.
This
For me
dude
to be where I'm at
out
right
fighting
now.
with a broke hand,
Oh,
out
yeah,
fight 2 weeks of
I signed a
training.
contract. I come up to fight regardless.
I
whether
mean,
I'm hurt or
fights we
not.
shouldn't have took. He'd go out there and win it, like it was not even a fight. I'm thinking, how good could he be? I was a
What happened 2 weeks ago? Heart to heart talk, or did he just turn it
You
on?
gotta
or what?
ask him for that.
What happened 2 weeks ago, AJ?
I don't know. Something clicking in your head. You know. I mean, the last fight with Justin Lawrence, it was there, but I was still bored. I was in there bored. Like I was there, I was doing what I was doing, but I wasn't. Just wasn't hungry. That's AJ. You know, I'm just doing what I naturally do, versus me being able to go in there and want it and to be hungry. And he doesn't have to tell me. I'm in the gym. I go from our gym 10 to 12. I'll go to the gym right after practice and go just sit there, lift weights, just mess around for 4 or 5 hours, and then he'll come to the gym and then I'll work out again with him. I don't know. It's just a different hunger now. I'm like,
Did you know it would click, or
Yeah,
at some
I
point
just-
were you getting ready to intervene?
Yeah, I thought it would be off of a loss that he's gonna go, okay, I got it,
kill
I
me
got
for
it.
that.
But man, I'm telling you, dude, you guys don't have an idea.
So
what's gonna
2.0 starting, huh? On
Yeah.
September 21st, right?
And he's got great training partners. Aaron Pico, Joey Iceman Davis, YL, Jiu-Jitsu fanatic, and heavy-handed ass Kimbo Slice.
That's for real.
And Osman the mailman, Little Pepe, that's what I call him. That dude from Santa Ana, what's up?
Hey,
You're Santa Ana too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was
Santa Ana.
he was in them streets too, you know. He slipped away from me for a while. Then he came back, got off the drugs. You know, I ain't a secret guy. I'm like, fuck it. I did it. This is what it is. This is where I want to be. I apologize for everything that I did wrong. Let me make up for it. A lot of guys, man, they some fake. This business is so damn crazy to me. It's so crazy. And I believe that the guys that I work with, they're sent to me from some higher level, because I wouldn't do it no other way. You couldn't send me to John you can send me to John Joneses, but you couldn't send me to Daniel Cormier's, the Tyrone Woodley's.
We could send you to John Jones.
Yeah, send me the.
But we can't send you to.
Nah, I don't want the college clean cut guy that thinks he's fucking better than everybody else.
What would you do with John Jones? What
Man,
would
he'd
be the first thing?
He would be the shit kicking it with McKee. Because all that stuff he doing. See, where's the black mentors for us? Where are the people to stand up for who we are? It's different for us than every other race. Now, I don't care how people try to switch, shift, push it. They're full of shit. To be a male black in America is different. So you need somebody that understands that and not in prison trying to tell you. You need somebody that's doing what you do, telling you how to do it. Where are our fathers? It's not my fault my daddy was an alcoholic. It's not my fault I didn't have a dad. So that's what I became. I became what I didn't have. A mentor, a father, a spiritual advisor, a leader, a friend, a brother. That's all I needed. I had it, but I didn't understand it.
All right, we got to take a commercial. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. We have the Body Shop fellas in the house, Antonia Mckee, AJ McKee, and there's a crew that rode in with them that I was not expecting, so we'll see if we can do a little bit of rotating
That's how
in and out.
gangsters do it.
We got to talk to Kimbo as well, catch up with him, former Strikeforce light heavyweight champ, current Bellator superstar as well. Stay close. We'll be right back.
King Kong has a lot of shit on them. Like a lot. Especially Goes. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, we're back, and we are chilling here with the McKees, Antonia Mckee, father, and AJ McKee, son, along with the whole crew from the Body Shop in Southern California. But right now we're going to talk to King Mo for a few minutes, former Strikeforce light heavyweight champ, current Bellator moneyweight fighter, because he always jumps around from heavyweight to light heavyweight, and I heard he might be even dabbling in another weight class. Let's hear it from him. What's up, King Mo? How you doing?
Hey, shout out to the Body Shop, man.
Hey, what's good, man?
Coach McKee.
What's up, brother?
Cool. I'm gonna be out there on the West Coast, man. Mid August. I'm gonna come get that work up there. See what y'all boys got for me.
Man, you know we love you. Come on, man. Doors always open.
Yeah. I'm gonna come through, AJ. So I'm gonna come through.
You already know,
hands
bro.
on you a little bit. Wait, hold on. Who's that? Y'all gonna try to jump me, huh? I know how to get down.
We got the whole squad.
Okay, I'm gonna come deep there.
Come through, man.
Hey Mo, seriously, you better roll deep because we got swarmed here. We were expecting just 2 of them, and I thought if something goes down, there's 2 of them, there's 3 of us. Nah. We got the bat,
it's like the Warriors. They all got the
and all of a sudden they showed up with like 9. I was like, all right, that's it, we're done.
That's how family roll.
Yeah, they got us. And now AJ's taking fighting serious. Now he's a 2.0 fighter. So I go, now we're really in trouble. But King Mo, they were saying a lot of nice things about you for sure. So I'm sure you are welcomed at that gym anytime. They like the real G's like you are, man. Hey, listen, Goes was telling me you're dropping to 185. It's official.
Well, look, I'm a middleweight fighter. Whatever they have for me, I'm going to take. Right now, I'm sitting around like below 200, I think. Like, after practice, I've hit 197 a few times, 198. I'm not even trying to. It's just the weight just be coming off me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm going to see what they have for me. I let them know, you know, I'm available, you know what I'm saying, at heavyweight, 205, and now we can do something at 185. We'll see what's up.
You've made your mark as a heavyweight. I know things didn't go well in the last fight, but prior to that, I think you had like a 10-1 record as a heavyweight. And then as a light heavyweight, you won a major belt. So I feel like this move at middleweight is a long time coming, but I think it's the right move. You know, I mean, see where it takes you. You got a quality champ in Mousasi. He's got a big fight coming up, but you and him have fought before, you know, with a belt on the line. I'd love to see that again. Right now, I just think you have a real good opportunity to kind of leave a nice legacy behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never think about legacy. I just think about just the money. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to it, like we all talk about legacies, this and that, but it's like this: when you're done fighting, they don't care about you, what you done in the past. Think about this. We have Coach McKee. Coach McKee wreck shop, IFL everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And he don't get no respect. When you're done fighting, they don't care about you no more. So you get your money while you're doing it and have fun. That's how I see it. Legacy the legacy stuff will come when you're done. And the people that will watch you, the people that are fans of that, they'll determine your legacy. They'll talk about what you did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as for yourself, all you can do is go out there and have fun with your career and do what you can do.
I think you can do both, though, because the belt holders do usually cash the biggest checks. So I think you can do both. I'm sure you'd agree with that.
No, yeah. But first and foremost, the check. Because you can cash that. You can eat that. You can spend that. Legacy, there's a lot of people out there with great fighters with great legacies, and they broke.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it's a combat sports game, man. It's an eat-a-gate world, you know what I'm saying? So while you're doing it, make sure to take care of yourself, get your money, have a good time, and just be smart.
Hey, will you be in San Jose for the McDonald and Mousasi fight, and would you present yourself afterwards as the next guy, you know, to fight for that title?
Well, I know that fight is in September, right?
September, yeah.
It's a week after mine.
18th?
Week 21st to 27th. That's Slice and Pico.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's a long time from there. You know what I'm saying? Like MMA in Bellator terms, like September. That's about 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
All right, but will you be there? All right, so you're saying you don't know if you'll be there, is what you're saying?
Oh, I might, kid. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know yet because that's still long. We're like that's too much from now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't plan like that.
All right, goes. What do you have for King Mo?
Is there a particular guy coming out of that fight? Like, how would you break down that fight? Who do you think's gonna win between McDonald and Mousasi Mo?
What class they fight at? 185, right?
185.
I like Rory. He's a dog too, and he maybe keep it a grapple match. But Musasi's big. His sprawl has gotten better. He has decent skills, and he's a good big man. You know what I'm saying? Rory McDonald's a good small man. I'm not going to take this away from him because he's willing to step up and face him. You know what I'm saying? If he's very confident, he can get that. If he's confident with a good game plan, he can win that fight. But it's going to be hard for him to do it because Musasi is solid too.
How much better do you think Mousasi is now from the when you guys fought initially?
I don't know because I think a lot better because every fight you improve. You know what I'm saying? So I think he got a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But really, I don't know. I can assume that. I don't know. I assume he got better because I think that I want the every fighter gets better. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I love to fight him though because we can find out how good he got. You know what I'm saying? Let's make the fight happen.
I have Mousasi winning. Who do you have?
I think Mousasi. I think he's just. I think it's too much for McDonald.
Mo thinks McDonald. How about you guys?
I think Mo come train with us. It don't matter.
Take them both in one night.
Yeah, I'm not picking nobody. I'm just saying it's gonna be hard for Roy to win. But you know what? Look, I'll fight both of my damn self. You know what I'm saying? At 185.
Has Mo ever trained with you guys before?
Yeah, he did. Mo was one of the first guys to ever come in my gym and do well. Most UFC guys or guys that's from different organizations come in because they heard, it's good training, it's hard. Mo is the only guy that came in there and just kicked everybody's ass with the exception of mine. And
that's how let's be real here because I didn't kick your ass, coach. You trying to embarrass me out there with that strong ass monkey grip. God damn.
Hey, most people don't know about that.
So is your gym? They always say AKA they go hard, and Kings on Friday they go hard.
We don't go
hard. How about you guys?
We don't go hard. We're smart, bro.
Okay.
We smart.
They go smart. Yeah, they go smart.
So what is it like? The limits are pushed, or what is it about your gym that breaks other fighters?
We focus on strength and conditioning, and we focus on basic fundamentals. Everybody's doing all this craft shit that when they get in there with a real one, all of a sudden that goes out the window. But I work on the athlete. Everybody's different. If you notice, all my guys fight different. But one thing we can do is we can fight for 15, 25 minutes. We ain't getting tired. And I believe that takes time. I have a really, really smart training structure for my guys, and it makes wrestlers come out of the shell because I was stuck. I didn't know how to stand up and swing unless it was a street fight. So put together some good stuff. Got great doctors. I got great guys that are physical therapists that work with me on what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to create the best fighters in the world. I don't care how old you are. I'm getting ready to start training Chuck, and I've trained almost everybody. If I didn't train them, I trained with them. So I'm now starting to take the position as a coach, but I got to fight a couple more times. I'm not done yet.
And Mo, you've been to a lot of gyms. What's special about the Body Shop? Through your eyes.
Okay, think about this. I'm gonna say there's secrets in the game. There's secret people in the game, and I met most of them. Coach McKee is one of them. I'm talking about the genius mind, right? Because they're putting together a game plan. 2, name me a time that any body shop fighter has gotten tired in the fight.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying? Name me a time. Straight up, name me a time that any body shop fighter has gotten tired in the fight. It don't happen.
Okay. Well, that's a strong endorsement from a former world champion. It'd be great to see him out on the West Coast. You used to live down in Orange County for a while, right?
Yeah, man, I hated it, but that's some good agency.
See, he needed to come kick it with me. He would have been straight. Like, damn.
I hate Orange County.
My brother Bull picked the place. But coach, you was about 45 minutes to an hour. That traffic, man.
You ain't lying.
That traffic no joke to y'all.
Yeah. You could have stayed with me. Fuck it, we got a big house. Come kick it with the homies. You might not ever sleep at night.
Back then, you was crazy though.
Yeah,
that's
he
why
right.
I could stay with you.
Yeah, I was wilding out, boy. Woo!
All right, so Mo, to be clear here, you don't have an opponent set. You would like to fight at 185, and you're open to the winner of McDonald Mousasi.
Man, I'm open to it. Whatever, man. Just give me a fight. Come on, Bellator. You know, I know they got something brewed up because you know Coker's like throwing stuff. He got the ingredients to make something happen. So I'm pretty sure he got something going on. I just don't know what it is yet.
All right. Well, I always like to push you guys to see what your preference is because I like you guys calling the shots.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like this. Look. 205, what we do, 185. Just give me something. You know what I'm saying? 205, 185. If we need something to do something heavyweight, I'm cool with that. But really, 205, 185, let's do something.
Sounds good.
I like it. Yeah.
All right, my man. It's great catching up with you. Always a fun chat. And let us know if you're ever in Vegas anytime soon. We'd love to have you come in and co-host like the guys just did here from the Body Shop, all right?
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to the Body Shop, though. Y'all doing y'all thing, man.
All right, Mo. Love you, bro.
Do your thing, man.
I got one more question for you, Mo.
Man.
Hold on, Mo. Gills has something for you.
You know our producer, Danny, right? The guy that's always in your ear?
Yeah.
He thinks Dino from the Flintstones is a raptor. George and I are saying he's a brontosaurus. You watch a shitload of cartoons. Is he a raptor
He is
or a
not a
brontosaurus?
brontosaurus.
He's not a raptor,
He's
Danny.
a brontosaurus.
I
He's a
told you.
brontosaurus, bro. He's a brontosaurus. Ain't no raptors. He's no raptor.
Brontosaurus can't walk on two legs.
No, but hear me out. First of all, Dino's he's a brontosaurus, but he's fucked up because he eats meat too. You know what I'm saying?
So now his diet and his walking ability go more towards raptor.
But yeah, look, y'all got taste out, right? He has a long neck. Raptors, bro. No one knew what raptors were until Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? The Flintstones came out in the 40s or 50s, dog. Ain't nobody know about raptors until Jurassic Park, dog. All we knew, Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus, T-Rex, you know, nothing else.
He's right. The Raptors did not come around until Jurassic Park, and then the basketball team started winning a little bit. Oh yeah, the Raptors. But for the most part, it was just we all and think about when the cartoon was made. I think that right there is the best case we made, Danny. You got to accept that one.
He just made cases for raptor. It eats meat and walks on two legs.
No. But bro, the science in the 50s and 40s, ain't nobody know raptors. They know about the T-Rex.
All right, chalk one up for the Brontosaurus. All right, Mo, thanks a lot, man. We got to let you go. Thanks for calling in, all right, bud?
All right, good.
All right, we'll see you. All right, we got to take one more break. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back. See if we can get a few more stories out of these guys from the LBC. They roll hard.
Calm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, Coach, can you give me another story? I want to hear another good story from you.
About what?
Nashville? Oh, I like the street fight stories the best.
Okay, well...
unless you want to stick with the LBC.
Let me create the characters, okay?
Okay.
But, I was going to the store with some Hispanic friends of mine.
Okay.
We went into a store. I went in to buy some drinks. I was 21 at the time. I came out. When I came out, I got hit up by a vato, ese, or orale, whatever. And I didn't understand. I was like, hey, man, get up out of here. I ain't got time for this shit. Look in the car. See my homies right there? They Mexican.
Right.
You know what I mean? My name's Antonia. I ain't got time for that. And he hit me up harder. He banged on me. I didn't know he had a gun on him.
So he was asking you for money?
No, he was just banging on me. It was time for him to get some stripes, take out a brother.
Oh, shit.
So I looked at him. I was like, man, are you serious right now? Like, I'm in the car with, these are my people right here, and they're in the car. Then homie just pulled out his strap. This shit was like a Boys in the Hood trap. I looked at him. I said, man, you gonna shoot me for what? F you, mayate, he went on. And I don't, again, we're gonna have to go to the spiritual realm. Somehow, I was able to get over the car to him as he not one.
He was unloading
on me. I'm in a liquor store in the wrong neighborhood, and
what were the vatos doing? Just eating popcorn? They didn't.
When that
they
gun
didn't
came,
have their piece.
Couldn't nobody get to it. It was fast.
Okay.
I came out and it was just like, what? F you, man, nigga, you out your pap. And I'm on him, and it was blood everywhere. I thought I was dying. I thought I had been hit.
Oh, you? Oh, who?
I got to him.
Uh-huh.
And when I got to him, it was ugly, the outcome, but I thought I was hit. So I told him to drop me off in an alley because I thought I didn't want them to get a murder case. But I wasn't hit. And when we got to the house, I went through all the signs. I was like, I can't breathe. It's my chest. So they pulled my shirt off. I wasn't hit in the front. Oh, my back. They rolled me over. They cried and shit. And then they rolled me over. I ain't been hit in the back either.
So
but I'm going through all the signs. Huh?
Where'd the blood come from?
From the vato.
The ground and pound?
Yeah, I don't want them looking that case up.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
how many shots did he fire off at you as you were coming around?
At least 7 or 8.
So can you go like this? So it was one of those where, like that?
No. I don't know how.
It's obvious I would never be a detective because I can't put this.
I don't think
the clues together. But
he realized the kick of the gun. He was just unloading. He was probably high on something.
I see.
And he was just shooting, and I was
ground and pound, and that was it.
They don't call me the mercenary for no reason.
He likes guns, cars.
Nigga, I don't miss.
But you know,
my first time picking up an AR, I was hitting stuff 800 yards out.
Yeah.
I'm savage with some stuff.
We love guns.
You know what? We need to take them on a trip with us, right?
Yeah.
We go. The military brings us out to do what's called morale visits. For one, you have a great story of how you turn things around. But another thing, you got, or at least AJ's said he likes guns. Over there, they let us hold them and shoot them, and things like that.
Clear houses.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really, really cool. They show us. They give us a lot of access.
I go paintballing too. I go paintballing just for a little fun.
Would you be interested in something like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a hood way to do it, and then there's a professional way to do it. I'm gonna see if the hood work.
Man, this is I thought Santa Ana, it's like another level over here. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, you're walking out, and it was just your time. You're walking out of a liquor store, and that was it. It's just somebody's looking to make their name on you. I mean, I thought like there was a robbery or something like that. You know what I mean?
Shooting and stuff.
This is nuts. AJ McKee, what's your prediction for your fight at Bellator 205 against Pat Curran?
I gotta finish him.
Yeah.
That's another statement. Justin Lawrence was a statement, but that was, I don't know, I was bored. I was in there. It was the first camp that I could say we trained, like really trained, but I still wasn't in there doing what, I wasn't hungry. that next mindset of just going in there and being hungry and being self-motivated is, I don't know, I'm hungry.
You like putting people to sleep, or you prefer the KO?
Nah, I want to knock you out. You're trying to put your head. That's what everybody likes. Everybody wants entertainment. At the end of the day, that's, you know, my fans want to see me.
You blend the mixed martial arts really nice, whether you're going for grappling or striking. It's very fluid.
Thank you.
So we enjoy watching you. All right, we're going to do some rotating in.
Okay.
We're going to do a quick break here. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Stay close. We'll be right back.
Viva Las Vegas with your neon flare.
Yeah, I'm good. All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. We're switching things up here now. Mr. Slice, what do you prefer? Slice, baby slice? Kimbo
Yeah, slice for the men, you know what I mean?
All right.
And then baby slice for the women.
I got you. Yeah. Welcome to MMA Junkie Radio. We've had you on the phone before. Now it's great to meet you. And yeah, nice to meet you. He was telling us a cool story there. How you became part of the team, but he was also telling us about the drive you guys had. You want to share that, Antonio, with us?
I don't think people will understand.
I mean, it's crazy. If you want me to say it, I will. You know, we're driving down the street, we're talking, and I said something about his dad, and we're talking about his dad, and the speedometer starts slamming back and forth. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with my speedometer? I said, Slice, you see that? He's like, yeah. I said, oh, it must be your dad. So we keep talking, and I said, is that now? A light started blinking. All my lights in my car. I got a Mini Cooper. Just ain't nothing wrong with it. Then the light started blinking. I looked at it. I said, Slice, you see this? I said, is that you, Kimbo Slice? Is this you trying to talk to us? all the lights started blinking real fast in this sequence. And I looked at him, and I said, "Do you see this shit?" He said, "Yeah." And we just kind of looked at each other and said, "Your dad is here."
I like it, man.
You kind of
like
felt
it.
the presence.
Yeah. You know, we had you on the show one time, and I wasn't sure how you dealt with the loss of your dad. We had we paid our respects because he was a big figure in our sport. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if you look at a lot of the records of like regular television, your dad was involved. But even like when we talk about The Ultimate Fighter and ratings are down, we always point to one of the seasons that was the highest, if not the highest.
It's still the highest.
Yeah, it was your pop.
Yeah,
so
haven't broke that yet.
incredible how he was able to, do what he did in the 305, and then become a professional athlete, and then all the marks he was able to hit, all the fans he was able to bring over. But we just, at the time, I guess we weren't sure what your relationship was with your dad, because you were really a quiet guy on the phone. But can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, your face lit up in that right now when Coach was talking about it. And
I don't know.
You've had a time to mourn. And
I don't know. I think it's a funny question. It was, I don't know, normal. He had me when he was 18. My mom was 17. And he was on his way to college. So my grandma took me to the Bahamas for like maybe the first 3 years, I could say. And then when I turned 3, I moved back here with my dad. And then from there, I was just like with my mom a little bit, and with him. But I was with my mom until like maybe 6th grade, and that's when I was just kind of like out of hand. I was ruthless as a kid, like I was pretty bad, man. So a lot of street fights, and I used to just like throw rocks at people's windows when they driving, car windows, or throw rocks through their windows while they watching TV, and then they'll chase us in their car, but they never, they didn't catch us, but. So the word got around, because I grew up in the same city, the same streets he did. So word got around, like, how I was growing up. And that's when he was at the time working with Icy Mike. And that's my manager now. And he got me when I was like maybe like 12, I would say. So from 1 to 6, I was with like my mom and my grandmother, my dad's mom. And then from like 6 to 10, I moved with my dad from there because I was starting to meet that father figure.
And then what brought you from the East Coast to the West Coast?
Well, I went to college in San Francisco.
Okay.
But you mean the train?
Yeah. Eventually, how did you make it over, a young man from the Miami area, from the 305 to?
Well, I was actually in Connecticut training.
Okay.
Right. I was fighting, and that's when I had my first amateur fight.
Okay.
And that was the one, the knockout that went, viral, I guess.
Right.
And from there, I just signed my pro contract. I didn't even second guess it or think about it. I just knew like I wanted to fight my whole life. So I had the opportunity after one amateur fight with no training at all.
When did you step into the body shop? A couple years ago?
Yeah, I would say like a year and a half ago, yeah.
What brought you there?
Faith, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
I asked that question too.
I can't even say like a person or, it's just, I guess.
Had you heard about the team, or had you heard about the coach or the potential training partners?
I never trained for MMA ever, so I've never been to an MMA gym before.
Okay.
So everything I did in that first fight was just off what me and my dad taught me and just me training myself. So I didn't know about gyms. The only gym I knew about was American Top Team.
Antonia, I know a lot of people probably come into your gym and say, I have what it takes. But how long does it take for you to realize what they have and if they have something special?
They leave after 2 days. They'll be gone. Yeah,
gone.
See them again. Yeah.
In this case, when you walk through that door, how long did it take for you to say that guy's special?
You know what? Before he got there, I knew he was coming.
Oh, I didn't back down. Though. Sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to cut you off. This is how it is in the gym. If a guy want to come train in our gym, we got Joey. We got AJ, we got me, we got Walel now. So we got guys where you have to go through all us and then train with Coach. You might not even make it to Coach. Obviously, you won't. Nobody ever made it to him. It was either Joey, me, then they're done.
So you're like Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson.
And they don't come back, but they don't come back, though. That's the thing.
Code to get there.
A guy come in for like 3 days, say he wants to fight, we'll never see him again. So now we got like a small circle. This is probably like most of the guys right here in the gym. Everyone else, they don't come back. They either getting beat up every day to where they just like, all right, I just can't.
TJ Dillashaw came in.
To the body shop?
Walter Archuleta came in.
Yeah.
Aaron Pico came in. They didn't stay. Pico stayed because I've been training Pico since he was 5 in wrestling. But nobody has came in that gym and walked out without getting tapped or just ran through. Even Tyron Woodley, that's my boy. He got tapped out. Left, right, left, right. But, I mean, it's talent, man. It's real talent.
So if a guy came in and got thumped by all you guys, but he picked himself up and kept coming back, would he earn his respect then?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening is a lot of people are just turned off and they don't want.
That's kind of what
they don't
happened
want
to
that
me
smoke,
in a
and
sense.
then they don't come back.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
what
see.
happened to me when I first came. Like I never trained at the gym before, so my first time rolling with AJ, my ribs popped. First day training, my ribs popped, and I came back though. I kept coming back. I get beat up. I am getting beat up by everybody. Coach, I didn't have no submissions. I had no cardio, nothing. I came in last in everything, but I didn't give up. You know, I wasn't quit. I didn't quit. And now look, now I'm at like a place where I could do something great in the sport. You know, just by learning what my coach picking up and not having an ego. And if I get tapped, I want to understand like what I did and how can I not get tapped.
That's a cool story. Perseverance, right? Probably scored a lot of points with you.
Well, I asked him when he got here because I had this, I talked to this angel. I call him my angel. And I said, I lost Bubba. And I was like, man, I put so much into him. But then this voice told me that I would get somebody bigger with a bigger name that would bring a lot of attention to the gym. So the crazy part is I share this with all my guys. I don't keep it a secret. So I told my son, I said, hey, we get ready to get somebody big with a big name. My son was like, who? I'm like, I don't know. So when he came, first thing I asked him was, why? Why this gym? Out of all the gyms in California, how did you know about me? How does this even make sense? And when he explained it to me, I never told him. On the spiritual side, what I was told, but my guys knew. And immediately, he came in with some habits that I don't like, and I said, fuck this, I don't want him here. And I listened to that voice, and that voice said, be patient. And now, I'm glad I was patient because dude is picking it up so fast. He's so talented. Hits hard. I mean,
is there the body shop way, or does each guy have his own?
Each guy got their
own game plan, and their camp is structured differently as well.
Yeah, and that's what's good about my ADD is I'm able to. I got a little fighter's book. I got a book that I'm writing. It's called The Fighter's Secret. But I got a book, and I write down little notes of each fighter because all of them are so different, and I try to focus on them individually at least an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, one-on-one. But then when we do group training, that's like the fight. That's sparring.
So you probably wouldn't want a big team like American Top Team.
Absolutely not.
Right? Okay.
Don't want it.
You want that individualized attention.
And that's what those big schools are missing. They're missing the coach, not coaches. You need a coach that understands the sport, and that's what I am, a coach.
And it seems like, I mean, some of you may go your own way, but it seems like you probably spend a lot of time together after practice as well.
Oh, yes. Dude, look, let me tell you. If they came with cameras in the body shop, we would have a hit reality show.
Why don't they? It sounds like fun.
Well, they've pitched a couple, but you have to be there to understand it. These guys are really smart. See, I wasn't that smart. I'm just spiritual. But these guys are smart, and some of the conversations that come up in this gym would blow people away. These guys are really intelligent. Sometimes I even have
What kind of
ask.
conversations?
The ones that I'm attracted to?
Oh man, no.
Did you see that move when he asked that question?
Who's the smartest of the bunch? Who's like the deepest?
They got it. They all got it, but I would say probably Slice is probably like the one that's so obvious because he's on another level for sure.
Okay.
With his dreads and his burning his incense and getting spirits out of his house.
Oh yeah,
his cats.
Oh yeah.
You can't walk in his house if you ain't right. He got some stuff at the doorway for you.
Yeah, to stop you. At the door.
Let's have some fun. If you're in the office and practice is about to start and somebody comes in and go, we can't start. So-and-so's not here yet. Who's so-and-so? Who's always running late out of the bunch?
Late? It's either out of AJ, me, Joey sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on for Joey. He just got a car, so he don't play now. He's on time.
Who's
right, Joey?
Who's the messiest of the
got
bunch?
That whip.
Like,
you don't come late
the
no more.
messiest?
Yeah, like, if you get in their car, you're going to sit on a cup
Nika.
of soda.
Oh, that's Nika.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
From Santa Ana.
Oh, man.
He's got a messy car?
Oh,
Dog, it's horrible. It's beyond
Who
homeless.
tells the funniest stories of the bunch?
Man, that's
Like,
Q.
who knows how to tell a story?
Quentin had you rolling.
Yeah.
From Boss Root.
He went viral. He beat up a guy at a shop. He was in his shop, and the guy tried to break in or something.
What
and
happened?
He knocked him out, and it went
Damn.
viral. Yeah, right, Q. That knockout. Remember your knockout that went viral? No, that knockout. Remember the guy tried to break in. You beat the dude up. Right.
Dispensary in Hollywood. All right.
They had guns, man. They would pull a gun out on him.
We'll get that story.
He's like I say, man. It's special, bro.
Yeah.
We're the guys that get the job done, and I believe we're gonna make a statement in this sport.
Coach, everybody is human. We all have these emotions. But what I always wonder about your generation coming in this sport, gyms weren't always the most accessible as all the equipment that they have today, all the tests. You go to the UFC PI, they're doing crazy stuff. You didn't have that. How is it difficult not to sometimes just be a little bitter at how much guys are getting paid now and how much less they've had to put in compared to like what you had to do?
No, I'm happy that I was able to pave that way for them and be able to be a voice. A lot of people don't know politically where I was and how I was pushing so hard. I was that sister on the back of the bus that said I ain't riding on the back of the bus no more. You know what I mean? I was the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King. I was that guy in the sport of MMA, and nobody paid attention to it because the sport wasn't big. But then people were very cautious in how they played me because they know I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to be honest. And I'm not going to speak with emotions. I'm going to speak with facts. Everything I talk about, you can Google it. You can go look it. You can research it. It's solid information. And so, for me, it doesn't. I'm still ahead of the game.
You're fighting in San Jose, Slice?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's your prediction for your fight?
A finish.
Yeah?
Yeah, finish.
You can put them dogs on somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the submission game coming along?
Good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Walel Watson
I don't like to
pretzeling people up?
I don't like to talk too much about my submission game.
No? Why not?
I mean, all my last couple fights are submissions, but it's been like off of knockdowns. But I think it's decent. Let's say that. It's pretty decent.
He seems like one of the fun guys of the group, right?
Yeah, he had you laughing. Slice is funny, man. He got different personality, but it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't know where he gonna come from.
Can you share a good street fight story before we
With
get
me?
the next guy in? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple actually. Let's pick one. Let's see. Okay. Well, it's one when it was like I got my grandmother, my dad's mom, his complex, and we was all playing football.
We're back in
Miami.
Okay.
We're in Miami right now,
Yeah.
so I'm like probably 13, and my brother is like 9, and we're playing street football.
Yeah.
And everybody's watching. Like it's like a community, a bunch of apartments, and in the middle you just it's like a parking space, got a basketball stuff. So it's like little projects in a sense. So everybody's watching the football game, and it was these two twins, these kids, and my brother actually plays football right now in college. So he was always the football player.
What college?
He's Kansas, no Missouri. Okay. Yeah, Missouri. Actually, we just fought at the same city.
So he plays college football for the University of Missouri.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
So he was always the ball player, and I'm upstairs chilling. So he caught the ball, I guess, whatever. They pushed him, and he hit a car or whatever. And they called me downstairs, and so now they know, like, I'm coming to fight. It's about to be a fight. So now these two twins, these two kids, I don't even know I know how to fight at this point. I'm just going off instinct, like my little brother, I got to protect them, whatever. So I go down there, and I don't even talk. I get right to it. Like, boom, I start fighting these two twins, right? So one of them in front of me and one of them behind me. And they was like, the other dude was trying to like choke me, but the other dude like came and bit me on the head.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he like came and just like locked in on my forehead, and he was just like just squeezing in. So I just like turn around and like elbow his brother, and I like grab the other dude and like ball him up and just like throw him in the trash can. You know what I mean? And that was pretty much the whole fight. But at the beginning, though, I was doing like this.
He
'cause-
bit you, though, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
my
like
dad
George
always,
the Animal Steel right in the forehead.
Yeah,
huh?
he always told me if they come in this perimeter, you know, there's like arm, you go, you know, that's when you got to defend yourself. So at the beginning of all my fights, I always like did this, you know, you'll see me doing this, and that's just like to see like, okay, this is like when I can hit him.
Imagine Walel had that.
Oh man,
that
right?
rule.
Oh yeah,
Right. You'd be fighting like everyone in the room. It's like, wait a minute, you're within an arm's
Especially at his
length.
weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
all right, my man. Well, it's great talking to you, and good luck with your camp. Let's get the next body shop guy in. Thanks, Slice. Cool, man.
Bang, bang.
Well, let's bring Walel Watson back in.
YL.
What's your reach, Walel? 75? All right. You have a fight coming up?
Yeah, I got a fight coming up September 28th for King of the Cage.
King of the Cage. All right. Who you got?
I'm not sure about the opponent yet, but I think I'm the main event on the card, so I'm training, getting ready to kill somebody.
Your coach was telling us he cleaned a lot of things up in your life.
Man, like I was telling him, I feel embarrassed to call myself a professional for the past 10 years because I wasn't treating myself like a professional athlete. You know, like you said, I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old, so I just thought that was just a part of my life. I didn't even think that it was affecting me the way it was. And it got to the point where it's not that I was bored, but I wasn't here mentally anymore. I was just going through the motions with everything. I'm just going through the motions. And my old coaches, they were just convinced that I was old. They were telling me, oh, you're old, you need to retire, you're slow now. You're thinking about the combinations, you're slow. When you start thinking about the combinations, you need to retire.
Yeah.
And I was convinced that was my problem. So my mind started telling my body that I'm old. So every day I'm like, I'm aching, I'm old, I'm this, I'm that, and blah, 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 blah. And my wife would look at me like I was crazy. And, you know, if I wasn't talking to Tone, he laughed at me when he first started talking to me. He's like, how old are you? You're 33. I'm 34 now, but I'm 33 at the time. And he's like, man, you in your prime. And then he described me to the T in our first phone conversation. Hadn't even met me yet. Described me to the T. Had goosebumps on my arms listening to him talk to me. And he was like, you know why I know everything? Because you smoking that fucking weed. And I'm like, damn. He's like, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And I was like, you know what, you're right, Coach, I am. I've been smoking my whole life. You know, when I fought T.J. Dillashaw, I was smoking all the way up until the fight. Everybody I fought. The only time I ever stopped smoking was my first fight in the UFC, and I knocked the dude out in 71 seconds. And instead of seeing what it was, I just went right back to doing what I was doing. I'm like, oh, I'm the shit. I got a little bit of money now. I'm gonna go party every day. I'm gonna be like these guys. I'm gonna be a superstar and just party and fight and do shit that I'm not supposed to be doing. I was jaded.
Wow, incredible, man. And so now the body shop's just transformed your whole life, your career?
Oh, man.
Not just your career, I meant to say, but your whole life.
My whole life. You know, if it wasn't for Coach Tone, I don't know where I would be right now. You know, he's helping me be a better man for my family, for my kids.
What are these guys like, man? Not just teammates, they're like brothers to you.
These guys are my brothers, man. From Slice to AJ to Nika to Joey to Q. I mean, these guys, these are the only people I hang out with right now. You know, I'm not on that level with those people I used to be around anymore. When I look at them, I can't relate to them. I can't relate to the things they're doing because they're not there spiritually. And that's just big to me. You got to be on that spiritual level now. And, you know, this is my family right here, you know, and they've taken my family in and they help showing us all the way.
You know, the coach that had mentioned you're not seeing the combos anymore, that sort of stuff. Has he come around at all and said, hey, I was wrong? Have you had that opportunity to show that?
Not yet.
Does it feel good when you do?
Oh, I can't wait. You know, I mean, I can't wait. At the moment, I think, you know, they're a little skeptical of me, maybe a little bit of hate, you know. But it is.
So that was another coach that told you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My old coaches. They were.
Do you believe in that, Coach? When you're thinking about the combos, is when you're starting to slow down?
No. Come on. That's immaturity. Obviously, I don't know what coach it is or what level they're on, but that's not what a coach does.
I was thinking a lot of the fighters that we've seen, I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but like, for example, Rashad Evans, who said he thinks too much. And I was wondering if that's what that other coach meant, is that when you're thinking too much, you're not reacting. You're not putting it on someone. Someone's putting it on you.
Well, you probably didn't train right, because what is this about? It's about instincts, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about reaction time. And if you're smoking dope, which I would love for Joe Rogan to put me on for a podcast with him, I'd tear his ass up. As an athlete, it slows down the muscle memory and the nervous system to be able to move. You're thinking too fucking much. That's part of the problem. Is that you need to be reacting.
Gotcha. All right. When did you say your fight's coming up? King of the Cage?
September 28th.
Okay, so it just happens to be the same day as the one in San Jose.
Yeah.
Okay. Who will coach you that night?
Probably gonna have AJ and some of the fellas.
Oh,
there.
so the team has to split up a little bit on
for
that.
one, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Let's get another one of your teammates on. Who do we have back
The
there?
Iceman, Joey Iceman Davis.
Okay.
Bang, bang. Y'all don't feel the breeze.
That's a big dude, huh?
Ooh, it's cold. It's shivering. It's the Iceman. I would chase dudes who was like 5 years old in my garage. I hated his ass.
Yeah?
He kept me out of shit.
Why'd you hate him?
Because he would stop me from being in the streets. Like, he would come to my house every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 o'clock. And as long as his dad brought him, I would train him coming out of Compton. And he would show up every Friday, every Wednesday, so I used to torture his ass. Because I want to go have fun. But these guys saved my life. They just don't know it. I always tell them.
At the time, you didn't know it, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
I was at the wrestling tournaments on Friday and Saturday, and these two would always go to the finals. So I would spend half my time in the car driving to a tournament instead of being in the streets. I was spending half my time training them instead of hanging out with Rampage and Tito, partying and enjoying the perks of being a celebrity. I was with these guys, and I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to torture them when I was training them. But this dude's a beast.
Wow, so you've known him for over 20 years.
Yeah.
About that, right?
Yeah.
I knew his daddy. Me and his daddy was, his daddy was in the streets hard. And then somebody ended up getting murdered. And then his dad, me and him. It's kind of funny now that I look at it. I've always been the guy to try to push people to do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I have my issues. But I always push guys to do what was right. And at that time, his dad lost his friend in a drug transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, well, what are you going to do with your boy? Because, at that time, his father was moving weight, and I said, well, if something ever happens to you, because there was a hit, and I said, if something ever happens to you, leave me custody of Joey. And he said, no, I'm going to change my life. And he did. He ain't the richest guy, but
that conversation led him to change it?
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How'd you get the nickname the Iceman?
Well, Snoop Dogg named me it.
Yeah.
I was a football player before I
in
got
his league.
Yeah,
Okay.
football player. I played for his team growing up and stuff like that, and I was just always had the the nicest gear on, the slickest Nikeist.com gear on. So he was just like, man, you the coldest on the field. I'm gonna name you the Iceman.
Nice.
And it just stuck with me.
That's a great story.
Now, have you seen him play?
Can't top that nickname. Well, I was just gonna say, everybody else kind of like I'm looking at like defensive backs, point guards, and then all of a sudden he got up. I go, fuck, that's like Eric Dickerson walking in. I'm going old school there with that reference. But like now more modern day. Who's the guy from St. Louis? Oh no, Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a big running back, right? Like you just want to give it to him like 30 times and say just run it through that defense.
He's so smooth.
Those my days.
Was that your position, by the way? Or you were?
I play running back,
It
receiver.
doesn't look like too many people are gonna get in your way.
I was good, man. I had looks from Oregon, USC.
Did you have wheels?
I was fast.
Yeah.
I was fast, about 4.7 in high school, which was legit in high school. Freshman, sophomore. Then I probably my senior year, I probably got to like a 4.5, 4.4, legit. So I was good, man.
Yeah. Who's the fastest guy in your group? Is there anybody?
Joey, man, Brandon.
Probably the fastest.
Right here.
Yeah.
I'm faster than Slice.
It's Joey.
I'm faster than Slice.
It's between Joey and I don't know, man, because AJ be.
AJ is slow in the 100. Slow in the beginning, so he's not in the tops of this talk right now. Now Slice is fast. He got a little Jackrabbit speed. Cousin always interrupted my interviews. He always interrupted my interviews.
Last time we ran, what happened? You used to smoke me as a kid.
Oh, your little,
He says
your
he's
deer
got
legs, your deer antler legs got better. He got better. Yeah.
They all got pretty good wheels because I saw that chick walk by in a bikini. They both got up quick.
Hey, coach. A lot of teams have like, when we want to break someone, we do the hill or we do the this. Do you have a certain challenge that the guys have to do?
Man, this dude breaks you mentally.
Do you guys have a version of the hill or sprints or anything?
You better tell him how gangster you get with us. Look, tell him how you just break us down, man. Man, this dude, man, is I've been in aggressive sports, like wrestling is probably one of the hardest sports in the world, as you can hear, and but nobody on the planet. I've been with some of the best trainers on the Olympic Training Center, OTC, you could call it. Trained with some of the best athletes in the world, the Olympic champion Jordan Burroughs, who works extremely hard, and nobody can get me sick with it, like willing on my knees as this man right here. And it's not saying that because I've been knowing him for so long. It's just I really came to the MMA game because of this man right here. I wouldn't train anywhere else. I've been to Black Zillions. I've been to a lot of MMA gyms, Uriah Faber's gym, and not saying that they're not good or they don't have nothing good going for them. But I feel like for me to be the best and for what I need to do, this man right here is the best at it. And that's just sick. He's sick with it. And it's not even about running up the hills or running or doing what we got to do. It's just maybe it's just our team relationship, what it is. But he just breaks us down to the point where it's like.
So I was just about to say, it seems like what you've created is an atmosphere where the worst you're going to see is in the practice room. The rest is just about having fun, whooping someone's ass,
dude, when it's
cashing that check.
When it's time to fight, they be like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm
finna fuck this dude up.
It's crazy, yeah. It's a good feeling.
When's your fight coming up?
I just competed June 29th, so right now I'll be out for a minute.
Booked?
Nothing's booked right now. I'm going back to school, focus on my school career. I'm going to graduate and then get better at my craft.
2019?
Oh, yeah, 2019 or early on January, we say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to finish up a degree or just get some units in?
I'm going to finish my degree. Yeah, I'm a communications major, so I'm going to get that going and then come back and finish my fight career.
Very cool. All walks of life. Everyone's got a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. NBA Radio is your headquarters for all things basketball this summer, from free agency signings to trade rumors and social media gossip. Whether it's happening on or off the court this season, we're discussing it on NBA Radio Series 207 XM86 and on your phone or at home on Sirius XM connected devices and speakers. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. We got Antonia Mckee here from the Body Shop, and he's got all the boys here. We're having a lot of fun here on a Friday as we wind up yet another fun week in the sport of mixed martial arts. Stay close. We'll be right back. one way to do it. It's for fun. There's another way to do it. All right,
Do
here we
what
go.
they say. Your life will be a lot better. Here are Gorgeous and Goes.
All right, Mr. Joey Davis, you've seen the theme. We come from the mean streets of Santa Ana, down in Orange County. I'm not gonna lie though, we're close to the Newport beach side, so we're not that we're not as street as you guys. But still, either way, I still love to hear myself a good street fight story. Can you share a good one?
A street fight story.
Yeah.
This can go all the way back to kindergarten, whatever, schoolyard, whatever happened.
College.
Oh man, he did this on me, man. Well, all right. I guess I got one story I can tell. Well, dang, we were in college. It was we were in college at this one. It was probably me, AJ, because we went to the same college at the time. Went to Notre Dame College. Another teammate of ours that wrestled with us in college, and we had to go help
Is
our
this one of those
friend.
wrestlers versus football players, or
No,
wrestlers
this was
versus frat boys,
just
or-
wrestlers versus the whole house.
Oh,
This is one of
versus
them
frat
scenarios.
boys.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
I love these.
one of the whole
Those guys
house.
think they're assholes, you know. I'm not
Yeah.
like the frat boys anyway.
And I guess the house we were going against, they took our friend's girlfriend. That's what happened.
Yeah, so set it up. So they had a party, right?
They had a party.
And you were or weren't invited?
We were we were not invited. We were
Okay.
not invited. We were just going to the town just to have a good time.
Gotcha.
But we heard about this party because one of our teammates came to us because we were just regular at a house party, and our teammates came to us. He was like, "Hey man, I need some help. My girl cheated on me with this guy, and I just want to go talk to him, and I just want a few of my friends to come with me, and just go escort over there and see what's up."
Okay.
And I said no. I was just like, no, I just want to stay here where I'm at. This, that. But we end up going anyway. We get to the house. It's a big party. Lights are flashing everywhere. It's a good time.
How many are in your crew overall?
Probably like 10 of us.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
That's a lot. We're deep. It was like 10 of us. And we get into the house. It's a good time. We see the girl. And we see the girl. She's hugging on the guy and stuff, and my friend's just like, yeah, that's the dude right there. So we like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to go over there. We're gonna go see what's up. So he goes over there. He gets in the dude's face. The dude's just like, what's going on? Like, what? Why? He goes, man, you with my girl? The girl like, I'm not with you no more. This and that. So they just arguing on stage, and we just are right there with them. And I'm upset already. Like, damn, I'm just trying to party. Anyway, the dude just punched my friend. Bow, cracked him hard. Shit just break loose. The other friend I had throws a bottle, just hits the other kid in the head. His head busts. Bow. Then this was crazy. So we're on this stage. We're on the stage.
Like Batman. Bam.
We're on this stage, and while we're on this stage, so the party's still going on. And then, people are, jumping off the stage now, because now once they see a fight going on in college, the whole house want to fight now.
Right.
So the whole house is raging. Pretty much, long story short, this kid made world star because he probably got about kneed 7 times in the eye, and his eye was just hanging, like, literally out of his socket.
Boy.
Really
So
bad.
That stole the lady.
No, this is just now, he's on one of his friends on Entourage. Like I said, it was probably one of the craziest scenarios I've ever been in. I'm like, dang, like, what is going on? But long story short, the kid made world star. Nobody got knocked out or anything, but it was an eye hanging out of the socket, and it was just probably about 400, 300 people in the house, or probably, in the house party, one of those college bangers. And yeah, that's my story for the week. It's pretty crazy.
400 people in the house. Were you at the Playboy Mansion?
Man, it's man, leave it there.
That's a good one. All right.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Anybody else? Are we good?
Osman from Santa Ana. We saved him for last because that's your homie.
Is he fighting?
Yeah, he's fighting August 18th.
All right. So let's do this. Let's take Kevin real fast from Chicago, and then we'll bring in Osman from Santa Ana. What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Hey, I want you to know if you guys been following the USA Wrestling, freestyle wrestling team. What do you think about them?
USA Wrestling. That'd probably be more of a question for you. I mean, do you have a more specific question, or?
I've been following it.
I know Davis knows.
Yeah.
Joey, you've been following it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big Jordan Burroughs fan. I mean, I love the whole wrestling circuit. So I love the team this year with Gilman and Sean Garrett, especially. I've been knowing Sean Garrett since I was a sophomore in high school, coming from Chico, California. It's probably like one of the great little states in the planet I ever been in. But yeah, You got Jaden Cox. You got obviously Kyle Snyder. I trained with all those guys before, so I'm very well paying attention to it.
World Championships this year?
Yeah, I forgot. I think it's in Budapest.
Budapest.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, it's exciting to see that it's probably the best Olympic wrestling team, world team we ever had. Really,
right?
It has all our top United States wrestling studs in it.
Did you come to Vegas when they had it in 2015?
I believe so. Yeah, me and AJ did come. We did come and watch
man.
it and watch. Yeah,
I recommend the World Championships. Well, I've never been to an Olympics, but
yeah,
I've watched both, and I like the World Championships better.
Yeah, a little bit more. Everybody's more into the
a little bit
more
deeper.
Yeah, deeper.
And the spotlight's just on them.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kevin?
Yeah, so you see wrestlers coming into MMA. Why do you think they dominate so much? And they've been dominating for so long.
All right. What do you think, Coach?
It's the
mindset.
Thanks for the question.
It's the pro sport for wrestlers, and it's easy to transition because of the grappling and the wrestling. And the wrestler controls the fight. The better wrestler controls the fight no matter what nobody says. If you can't take him down, how you beat him if he can knock you out? Rampage Jackson and so on. So I think it's just a pro sport for wrestling. Wrestling is tough. I did it. It's probably one of the toughest sports besides MMA. MMA is probably by far, it's the gladiator. I've done everything: basketball, football, wrestling. MMA is the toughest.
I've noticed too that wrestlers, when they stop competing, they're very driven in life and they're very successful. A lot of them are successful.
Yeah, the famous quote is, "Once you wrestle in life, everything in life is easier." That's what they say.
Yeah.
I really believe in that too. So,
all right, Danny, if you can get Mickey Dubberly on the line, that'd be great. And let's see here, you guys, we got to do our daily debate. You guys want to participate in our daily debate? Sure. We have a question with some answers, and I want to get your guys' thoughts. And you're not done fighting, so I can't call you a former fighter. We have a coach / fighter, a fighter, and then of course us. All right, here's the question, guys. Affliction MMA branch teased a potential fight between Randy Couture and Fedor Emelianenko, but it never happened. Which of these would have been the potential outcome? Now, Affliction, we're on a 10-year anniversary where those shows went down. You know what I mean? So we've kind of been reflecting on that. That's why the question comes kind of out of nowhere. But who would have won, guys, if Couture and Fedor actually fought? Couture by decision, Fedor by decision, Couture by stoppage, or Fedor by stoppage? How would it have gone down? We'll start off with Joey.
I'm going to go Fedor with the decision.
Fedor via decision, okay. How about you, Coach?
I think it would have been Couture by decision.
Couture by decision?
Yeah.
That's where I go. I think Couture by decision as well. Fedor's got some hands and some speed in them hands. So I could see him, if he put it on him, maybe get... So Fedor, if Fedor won, it would have been a finish. But if Couture won, I think he would have punished him, over the 3 rounds. So I'm going with Couture over decision because I would have sided with
I just didn't feel like Couture liked the aggressiveness from Fedor. Fedor was a vicious man and did not like to lose. And I don't think Randy had that emphasis in him to be like, damn, do I want to stay in this grind?
See, when I doubted him, I didn't think he had the hands to compete with Vitor or Chuck, and he did. And but he always had the wrestling mentality to break those guys as well. So I don't know. But how about you guys?
I felt like the way Fedor would strike and the way he would jump in, if Randy did his homework right, I think he could time that and get him down. I think there's no way around it. They would end up on the ground at some point, and I just feel like Randy's wrestling would probably null and void Fedor stumble a little bit. So I would probably go Couture decision.
Okay. Here are the results of that. Fedor by stoppage was 61%. And then after that, it was Couture by decision, 18%. Couture by stoppage, 13%. And Fedor by decision, 8%. So that's the daily debate there, brought to you by the MMA Junkie radio team and Joey Davis, MMA fighter and current fighter and current coach, Antonia Mckee. All right, stay close. We'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be talking to Mickey Dubberly, who is back in the game. KO Dynasty, you heard of them for many years, and now Mickey's coming back with a new concept where he manages your wealth, and at the same time, he throws in the managing for free. So you athletes, pay attention if you're looking for someone to guide your career. Mickey Dubberly's got a new twist on the game. Stay close, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
Taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, let's get right down to it. Our next guest is Mickey Dubberly. He helped set this up. Mickey, we know him for many years, KO Dynasty, and then for a few years, hadn't heard of much of what he was doing, but apparently he was creating wealth for many people, and now he's tying that back in with mixed martial arts. So pay attention, young fighters. If you want somebody to advise you in a different fashion, you can get free managerial or free. You can have a manager who will work for you for free, but at the same time, where you and him can do some businesses, he will build your wealth, your capital. So it's an interesting twist there. Welcome back, Mickey. How you doing? Great to have you, man.
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. Hey, thank you very much for helping to set this up. All the guys have been outstanding. They all have a real cool story. They all have great personalities. A few of them have fights coming up. And, man, the coach is really deep here with his thoughts. So I've really enjoyed having this visit from the Team Bodyshop.
It's great to have actual professionals.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, you guys came out when I came out back in 08, and you guys have seen the sport evolve, just as I. So it's really good to see guys being professional. Get them some coffee, too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. We got a Starbucks nearby. We can definitely do that. We actually have a Keurig that sits there, and I think Goes took it back home to what?
We had to clean it.
Clean it out a little bit, yeah. So, you guys coffee drinkers?
I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll get you some before you roll out. So, Mickey, did I describe that right? Basically, you're looking to partner up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that was the original idea, and that's the original idea I contacted Steven about. And, the idea was very new, fresh, and it kind of, I think the story got very twisted. But at the end of the day, the response was tremendous, and what the fighters were asking me over and over is, hey, can you just manage my money and not, manage my fight career? Mm-hmm. And that kind of sparked another idea and said, you know what, the fighters are really asking me to just help them with their finances. Maybe I need to just focus on the finance side. And I wasn't trying to pull fighters away from management. That wasn't my intention, because I know I was a manager myself for 10 years. I know fighters have relationships with some managers, some good, some bad. That wasn't my intention. My intention was, hey, I have my proper licenses to be, a registered investment consultant, and I've been in that business for 20 years. I'm really just trying to bring the aspect of the financial fundamentals to the fighters, because they're making a lot of money and they're not getting the proper advice. There's no platform on what to do with the money. Mm-hmm. So I went back to get my proper licenses in order to advise the fighters, and Antonia was one of the ones that recognized it. And, I look at his situation. He's a coach, he's a manager, he's a trainer. He sees the benefit of bringing in somebody like myself to his team to sit down with these guys and teach them the basic fundamentals of money. They're young, they're making fast money, and as Antonio has seen with some of the fighters I've managed, these guys have made a lifetime of money to retirement on and pissed it away. So we're really trying to work with more of the coaches, the trainers, the managers, the fighters, and I think the managers will be more on board, the coaches will be more on board, understanding that, hey, I'm not trying to come and steal your fighter. That's not my intention. Mm-hmm. Can I negotiate a contract? I can do it, no problem. But where my, piece in this MMA industry is going to be the guy that brings the finances to these guys and get them to open their eyes to start investing, because they're not, the average age of a financial advisor is usually around 60, 65 years old. They don't know what a UFC is. They don't know what MMA is. And these fighters are not going to feel comfortable. Why not work with a guy that's been in the cage, that's helped a lot of fighters in the past? Why not work with a guy like me that has the connections and knows the fighters and has the experience in the industry?
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. A lot of people have made a lot of money. A lot of pioneers have made a lot of money, and not all of them held on to it, because you can't fight forever. And when you do get a ton of money really quick, that's when the hang-arounds come out, and they get a piece of it here and there. Mickey comes with credentials, and so now at least it's worth the conversation to see what he can do to help. How did he, what caught your eye, Antonio? Of his
I've watched
pitch or of his idea, however you want to call it.
He didn't have to pitch it to me. I mean, I watched him. I kind of play. You know, I'm pretty good on character. He's been always a straight up guy. He's due diligence to work hard, and so I think it's like the greatest thing that could ever happen. You know, I always say things like it is. He was managing Emmanuel Newton, and Emmanuel Newton, I was training, and you watched Emmanuel make over $500,000, and to this day doesn't have a dime. Absolutely nothing. And I think that even inspired Mickey even more so. Like, wow, man, look at these guys. If they just listen. And so I think it's great because the way I saw it is once he comes on and he takes a percentage of that fighter's check and he's able to put that money to work for these guys will at least have something in the end. I'd like to see a package put together for MMA fighters. And it's mostly the guys that are not that good that create the champions. Because those are the guys that take the beating. You know what I mean? The best is the best. And then when you get at that other level, who's telling you what to do with your money? Because, you know, fighters, whores, strippers, fast-paced life, drugs, that's a fighter's life. Now, at least on the back end, Mickey sets up a portfolio for these guys to be able to say, hey, I've got residual income coming in every month because I put money away. Because most of these guys, they get their checks. They don't even pay taxes on it. They have no idea.
What's the first thing that fighters say to you when you meet with them, Mickey? When it comes to money, I guess.
You know, when it comes to money, it's, you know, they just want to know, what do I do with my money? I've always wanted to invest. I just don't know what to do. And then you look at a guy like Antonio that can go and they can teach them jiu-jitsu, he can manage them, he can train them, he can handle that aspect. But Antonio doesn't know what they need to do with their money. And I can't go to that gym and teach these guys jiu-jitsu or boxing, and they get their ass kicked. You know, so it's such a hunger for what do I do with my money, because how many times have we seen these young fighters, they have $40 in their bank account, all of a sudden they win fight of the night, they get their Reebok money, they get their show, they get their win money, their discretionary money, now they got 6 figures in their account, they're in their young 20s. Antonio's not going to tell them he doesn't know what to do. These managers don't have the proper licenses to advise people what to do with their money. I do. You have to have you have to have regulations in place and licenses in place to even discuss about investing, and this is a huge thing missing from the sport, because as we see older fighters now coming back to fight because they didn't do the right thing. And I really feel where our strength is going into these gyms, doing a seminar, feeding the fighters, and really sitting down and teaching them the basic fundamentals of fighting. So, you can have your little party money to do whatever you want to do, but take the bulk of your money and put it away so you and your family can be set for the life. You're taking a beating on your body. You can't do it forever. So at least invest now, because once that money's gone, now what?
I'm from California. All I ever knew was real estate, but all that other stuff where people can become millionaires and shit, stocks and bonds, I never learned about that. You know what I mean? And when I try to, it looks like another language. I don't really get it.
Mickey,
that's why you have a guy like me.
Yeah.
How different is everybody's path, fighter-wise, as far as investments? Does everybody kind of have their own personality towards that, or is there somewhere that you push them all towards?
They don't have any. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. They all just know, hey, I need to invest. Everybody thinks investing is a wonderful idea. You talk to any of the fighters or anything, everybody will agree with you. Yes, investing's great. Yes, investing's great. It's almost like, everybody wants to win the lotto, right? But they don't buy a lotto ticket. So if you don't actually put money into investing, it's never going to work for you. It's a great idea, but you're not doing it. And sometimes people don't know what they should do. People feel uncomfortable walking to an investment firm and some 60, 70-year-old guy sitting there and they're thinking like, they can't really relate to that fighter. On my instances, I got my license when I was 21, so I've been in the business for a very, very long time, and my path brought me through the MMA industry, and I have that rare form of the knowledge of MMA and the connections, and Antonio, obviously, he's real, he tells it how it is.
Let me jump in here real fast, Mickey, for just a second. Sure. I'm going to exit real quick to our SiriusXM audience and let them know, SiriusXM audience, more combat sports headed your way, like the Luke Thomas Show, Busted Open, At the Fights, and MMA Tonight. We will see you all on Monday. The rest of you head on over to youtube.com/MMA Junkie video for a little bit of overtime.
Daytime, if you see it once, you'll never be the same again. I'm gonna keep on the run, I'm gonna have me some fun. It cost me my very last dime. If I wind up
guys, clear for overtime.
All right. Sorry there, Mickey, to cut you off in the middle of your answer. If you want to finish that out, you finish out your thought.
That was like the Emmys. Is that what they do? They turn like the music on when they want you to stop talking.
No, it wasn't that. It was like how you and I discussed. I wanted to give all the guys a little bit of love because we have a lot of pro fighters here, and I thought it was just the McKees that were coming, but a lot of them came by, so we just kind of got a little bit backed up, and I wanted to give you a full segment as well.
Yeah, they need to give them all the exposure they need. What Antonio's doing over there with his gym and those guys, they're really how the sport and how the fighter should carry themselves. So Tone, also let them know about your charity too. Fight for Kids. That's something that me and Antonio, helping him work out. I don't think he mentioned it as well. It's something he's been working on 9 years. And that's something that I do here, do a lot of charitable events, golf tournaments, and me and him are working on that to help really push that charity. And what he's doing is phenomenal with the kids in the community, and it's really important, and people really need to know about what he's doing.
Joey was actually from that. Joey Davis was actually from Fight for Kids.
Okay.
He came in, and he had no money, and I took him in. And Rampage was the one that originally put up the most money for me. But, yeah, I go into the hood. Man, there's so much talent. They just need structure. And so that's where I try to help out the most. Not in just sports, but just in life, man. We're so lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a lot of the kids, have they been able to come and participate in mixed martial arts as well, outside of Joey, or do you not want that, or do you want to be able to speak to them, or do you also want to maybe use it as a recruiting tool for if they want to become
I want them to come
athletes?
in, because let me tell you, when you get your ass kicked every day by a little guy or a big guy or a fat guy, and you learn the craft of the sport, it gives you life lessons. It teaches you how to get through life. Wrestling was probably the greatest thing I could have ever done. And now that these guys are they were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old when I was doing what I was doing. Now they're teenagers. They're now becoming adults. I want them to give back to the community through my program.
Gotcha.
Like Walel, he's probably the most structured jiu-jitsu guy, and AJ. Those guys are real slick with submissions. I want those guys to teach these kids that can't afford it. I dealt with some Gracies. I'm not going to say the names, but no disrespects, but they would only put MMA studios in middle-class, upper-class neighborhoods. They didn't want to be in low-income areas because it's about the money. So I said, I'm going back to my environment, and I'm going to put it to where it's $50 or it's free. It's been free because no one can afford $50. Their mothers are on welfare. They don't know who their fathers are. The mother's high on dope or whatever the case may be, but they can't even afford it. So I'm able now to bring those kids in my gym and give them that hard lesson in life. We just did a Scared Straight at the park. Did you see it? It went viral. We had 3 kids, and we had to teach these kids Scared Straight.
Damn.
So go on my program. Go on my Instagram, and you can see it live. Like these guys are in these young guys' butt. They want to be gangsters and sag, that kind of stuff.
Very cool. All right, Mickey, give us I don't want to call it a pitch, but basically one more time. You're not really saying so you're managing their investment portfolio. There's no long-term commitment, from what I'm reading. Can you talk about, I guess, what would be the draw for these athletes that have some money, like in terms of you're not going to charge them to manage them, but you'll I'm sure do you get do I call it right, a cut or a fee of managing their annual portfolios?
Well, and this is where it gets really tricky because it's kind of hard to understand. In the financial realm industry, there's 2 ways the commission works. One is simply a transactional business, meaning it could be a 3%, 4%, 5%. I'm giving very vague numbers, but it's all regulated. And depending upon how much they invest, there's certain break points. So the more you invest, the less of the break points usually. So that would be a one scenario for a client. They come in, they buy something, boom, a one-time charge. That's it. The number two part would be a money managed portfolio where they would put money in and then there would be an annual fee. But at the end of the day, it has to be what is best for the client.
Gotcha.
So whichever one, if somebody trades a lot of trades and does a lot of trades, obviously it'd be better to be charged a low management fee than a continually transactional fees racking up. So it really comes down to, at the end of the day, like I said, what's best for the client.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, young fighters. If you're listening, Mickey Dubberly, reach out and find out a little bit more about what you're going to do with all that money that's coming in. You can't just let it sit there. You can't let people take it from you. You got to invest wisely. www.kodynasty.com. Mickey, thank you very much again for setting all this up. And let's talk some more, because I think hopefully you can branch out outside of fighting. I think there's a lot of people that would like to listen to things like this. Invest their money in
I am right now. I have an existing business already, a book of business and clients, and I already have. I'm vice president of a $9 billion firm here in Boca Raton. So I have an existing business, but because I have the proper licensings, I thought, hey, let's see if I can help these fighters, because like Antonio said, I've seen these fighters and now they're retired, and a lot of them I still keep in touch with. It's heartbreaking.
Right.
It's heartbreaking to see what their careers and life has come from. I mean, heartbreaking. Like broke, and it sucks. Okay. So I kind of took it upon myself to say, hey, help these guys out. But the managers are the ones that really need to be reaching out to me, because they need to have me on deck at their management firms to be like, hey, they'll have it just like they have an in-staff attorney. They need to have a financial advisor, whether it's me or somebody else. These managers really need to do that, because the game has changed financially. The numbers are bigger. The managers are the ones managing their career, so they need to really put them in the right place and get them hooked up. Like I said, whether it's me or somebody else, these managers really need to do that for their fighters.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much again for stopping by the show, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks again, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, Mick. All right, there he goes. All right, one more fighter. We got to go. And then we got to go from Santa Ana.
That's right.
And you went to Santa Ana High School?
Yeah, I went to Santa Ana High School.
What was your full name?
Full name is Osman Alejandro Amador Flores. So that's my
They weren't calling you that earlier.
That's my birth name. But everybody knows me as Nika or Osman.
Okay, Osman. Yeah.
And you co-sign on the mean streets of Santa Ana when we say that?
Yes, of course. Like I tell a lot of people, like I tell a lot of people, I grew up in LA and in OC, and from LA to Santa Ana, I hate degrading my own city, but it's a downgrade when it comes to a hood, quote unquote. It's not as bad. But it is bad, it's not like it's something that it's nicer, but it is getting a lot better though.
That TV show, The OC, that's what killed us.
It killed us. Of course, yeah. I mean, of course, because
when we say the mean streets of Santa Ana, I saw that show.
They're only going to show the nice side of Orange County, which is like Laguna Hills and Huntington Beach, and the south side of Santa Ana, not central or downtown Santa Ana.
You cruise Bristol?
I used to, yes, cruising down Bristol. Yep.
Give us a good Santa Ana street fight story.
Santa Ana street fight story. Damn, there's too many, dude. I'm not proud of them, but one of them was recent. I was telling Coach about. That's why I started coming back to the gym, because I was tired of it. I was at a bar. I was drinking. I was drunk.
Santa Ana?
Yeah, I was at Proof Bar. And, it's in downtown Santa Ana, right next door to my friend's tattoo shop called Pharaoh's Ink.
Okay.
And so we're there hanging out, and then this guy started throwing the N-word out with his girlfriend. And, as you can see, a lot of my teammates are black, and it's just I'm not a racist person. I hate people being racist. And so it kind of scratched me in the back of the neck, started bugging me. And my buddy that's working security there, his name is Jude. He's black, so he has to deal with that. And then she says, "You Black Panther," and blah blah blah, and everybody's like, "Whoa, like wait, what's going on here?"
Damn.
So I have to react. I have to react to help my buddy out and jump in. Like, hey, dude, like just please, like you're at work. There's cameras. Like, don't jump in. Don't do nothing. And so I kind of helped him out and pushed the girl and the guy away, and try to defuse the situation. The guy tried to grab over me and swing at me, and then that's when I reacted, and I threw him, kicked him, dropped. Hit him with a knee to his face. He went to sleep. He tried to get up, stumped him in his head. He went back to sleep. And 35 minutes later, he's still on the floor with paramedics showing up. And the cops trying to find me, but because I knew the owner of the location and everything kind of worked out, that we talked to the cops, let them know that it was self-defense. They showed them on camera that it wasn't me aggravating the situation. So he ended up getting arrested after. So
crazy.
But yeah.
And do you have a fight coming up?
Yeah, I have a fight coming up August 18th at Knockout Promotions. My coach is
We're literally less than a month away.
Yes, yeah, less than a month away.
Knockout Promotions? Where's
that?
It's
Knockout Promotions. It's my coach's Mckee organization that they have fights at Metroflex Gym in Long Beach.
Yes.
So we're going to be there August 18th at 170, and then go for the championship belt, take that belt, and then drop down hopefully to 55, 60, and then fight one more time, and we'll see if I turn pro by November, December.
Very cool.
So
see, gotta keep all that stuff quiet. I don't let people know everything I do.
Oh, okay.
I got the MA, the mafia, the cartels are after me. Antonio, you have to pay your taxes. I got hit up already. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Pay taxes? Like, yeah, I got hit up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Taxes? You know we.
You gotta go back under the radar. Coach, thank you very much for
Thanks
bringing
for having us,
everybody
man.
here and
We
letting
happy
us
to be
get to know you better and more, and then a lot of these athletes. You guys, anytime you're rolling to Vegas, let us know and we'll do it again. All right?
I appreciate it.
All right. Can I just throw one more quick thing? If you guys want to follow Osman Body Mechanics, I'm the massage therapist for the whole fight team for Team Bodyshop, and we're ready to do the Bellator takeover. So
sounds good.
I'll be here.
All right, folks, we got to get on out of here. Big thanks to AJ Mckee, Antonia Mckee, and the rest of the Body Shop. Also want to thank our guests for the week: Anthony Smith, Glover Teixeira, Sean Jordan, Andre Harrison, Justin Ledette, Curtis Blades, Bevan Lewis, Aspen Ladd, Megan Levy, Henzo Gracie, Alex Hernandez, King Mo, and Mickey Dubberly. We'll see you all on Monday, all right? Until then, go out there and be a champion.
Waiting out there, they're all living the devil may care, and I'm just a devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas.